Right, just because they've been so bloody active today, I'm going to do as an Ogham. Because I want to know what's going on. So, where's my book? From the branch, here it is. So let's have a look. That woke you up, didn't it? But you was having your afternoon, Sunday afternoon nap. It's the bottom. Right. And seeing as how we're in the woods, we'll use one of them as well. It's very warm in the window. At least I don't have to put the heating on. There we go. And we'll have one of these. Why not? Stick to the woods. What does it want to tell us? Did I tell you my niece made me my Ogham? Beautiful, aren't they? Of course you can buy them, but it's not the same. So we've got the overall energy of cleansing. Wash your weary spirit clean and take a walk in the wooded glade. So we'll see what that one says in a minute. And we've got strafe, which means the blackthorn. So, here we go. Most of you know this is a long one, so if you're not into long ones, I would suggest that you go elsewhere. The blackthorn, 137 may mean something to you. Strafe, brilliant white, so it's the crown chakra. Okay, are you ready for this? You could use it as your bedtime read, it'll make you fall asleep. So, strafe. Oh, I have to shut that behind a bit. That's not really working for us, is it? That's a bit better. So, saucer, bright, brilliant, white or yellow. So it's dealing with your crown chakra or your solar plexus. It's a stonloch bird or thrush. Uranus is the planet, so it's rebellion. And it's the strongest of red, increase in secrets and seeking clouds. So the confusion and the secrets that we talked about today. Well done, Spirit. Alchemy, the magician. Secret knowledge, occult, mysteries, reversals of fortune, change. Prepare for the unexpected. Now the astrology says it. The Spirit have said it. Be alert, be prepared for anything. The blackthorn is a little thorny. Dark provider of slows. Prunus, spinosa. Rosacea, rose family. What did we say about the rose this morning? Could be the name Rose. Strafe, Saturn and Mars. So the truth and war. The blackthorn tree is esoterically known as the mother of the woods and the dark crone. Deities associated with strafe are Stathath, warrior goddess of winter and punishment, probably like Demeter. Strafe's colour is bright, and the animals are wolf, dog, black cat and toad. So we know that the dog is the year of the dog, the wolf is Capricorn, the black cat could be Leo or good luck, and the toad is a three-legged toad that brings abundance. Strafe is and transformation, Strafe is coupled with the moon, month of Niktal, October the 28th. Bang on, Spirit, well done. So the 28th of this month through to November the 24th, making it the Ogham of Samhain, the Feast of the Dead. So Spirit want to talk to us. So expect them in dreams, in smells, in visions, wherever. The blackthorn is a shrub that produces suckers, which can make a single plant an impenetrable thorny thicket. The thorns of this shrub provide a valuable defence in hedging, so you may be walling yourself in and defending yourself, or having to fight the prickly, thorny hedges to get through to the other side. The blackthorn is generally considered to be an expression of force, detrimental to humankind, for its name means punishment and strife. It is a plant of slumber and death, and a symbol of both punishment and protection. So somebody who says they're protecting you may be actually punishing you. Representing the struggle of new life arising from the breakdown of the old things. Wow, they're talking big time this time, aren't they? Where have we seen this before? It is protected by spiritual beings called Lunantishi. The blackthorn is known as the black rod or blasting rod of the malevolent mage or witch. They would carry staves of wood as a walking stick, club or weapon, so your wand of power. These staves were renowned for their great magical power. It was also the magical weapon used to wound puppets and effigies of one's enemies. Blackthorn is used in the making of magic rods, so your magic wands, cudgels, shillelaghs, walking sticks, and all things used to ward off evil or danger. Blackthorn is a sign of external control, so somebody is trying to control you from outside. A control exerted from the outside on either a person or an object. This is usually an unwanted sort of control, but not always. Besides, the ability or power is often the operative principle in magic. The key then becomes learning how to make use of this force without being used by it. Strafe also carries the connotation of another sort of control pertaining to attacks, struggles and conflicts. So, Capricorn, either you use all the tools at your disposal, or someone is using you or you them. So we're going to light the protection candle. I'll have to go and get something to light it with. One moment. So, blackthorn is a sign of external control. The key becomes learning how to make use of this force without being used by it yourself. Strafe also carries the connotations of another sort of control pertaining to attacks, so energy vampires, stuff like that. If the candle burns straight up, that's fine. But if it goes from side to side, it could be a message from spirit. You pick a yes/no side and you will see what the answer is. So, struggles and conflict. When used in divination, strafe may mean that there are forces at work which are compelling and controlling you from beyond your present level of understanding. These may be hidden forces from deep within or from without. They are probably not beneficial, however, but they are presently being manifested in your life. You may be under the control of forces beyond your grasp, so protect yourself. Remember what I told you to do in meditation, even if it's just for a few seconds a day. Imagine yourself in a sealed bubble. Nothing can get in or out. You are safe. There is a force field made by your ancestors that will let nothing harm you. Stay there till you feel rested and calm, and then they will protect you for the rest of the day. Okay, so if you're having nightmares, do the same before you go to sleep. You may be suffering from attacks or struggling against outside influences, difficult conditions, conflicts or resentment. It may seem that the negative aspect of destiny is controlling you. There is a need for you to control these forces and use them to your advantage. You may be able to turn that very power of destruction against itself. It may be time to use magical, mental or psychological means to deal with the problem, because it could be psychological warfare. So you need to be healthy in mind. Don't let people live rent-free in your head. With blackthorn, there is a necessity of turning what might be initially negative experience into a positive one through control, knowledge and understanding. The key is to be found in not striving against the experience, but in controlling and directing the energy produced to positive ends. So going with the flow, but not being out of control. Here can be the beginning of true spiritual understanding. The solution to problems bound up with strafe may be to play it away, or even to try to indulge them. Be sure you are learning from your mistakes and not holding on to an attitude that may make matters worse. So don't be stubborn. The blackthorn is often called the witch's tree and thought of as unlucky. It's supposed to reveal the goddess in her cruel and ugly aspects, so it will show you people's true colours. It is sacred to Eris, goddess of strife. It is associated with the planet of Venus. It is the tree of fidelity because it's wild. It represents independence. It also has been known to be used in negative magic. If you play with negative or black magic, it will come back on you tenfold. So please don't. The thorns being used much as pins pushed into puppets or waxen images. So somebody trying to cause you pain, mentally, physically, or emotionally, and it's just by thought sometimes. Energy vampires will do anything they can to harm. So, some English witches carried the blackthorn, a black rod, as a walking stick, and it was even burned with a witch as the chief instrument of sorcery. It was thought to cause miscarriages. Now, I did speak about, I was worried about miscarriages, especially with what's been going on. So, please, if you have suffered a miscarriage, know that Spirit understand and that it's through no fault of your own. There's nothing you could have done, and that they are safe, they have arrived, and that there will be a chance of a new beginning soon. But you need to heal from that, and don't put anything into your body, physically, mentally, or emotionally, that is negative. So, blackthorn is depicted in many fairy tales throughout Europe as a tree of ill omen, called strafe in the Ogham. This tree has the most sinister reputation in Celtic true lore. The English word strife is said to derive from this Celtic word. A long, hard winter is referred to as the blackthorn winter, and we know we're supposed to be having a bad winter this winter, don't we? But we've also got Spirit telling us that March through to May will be a better period, so we've got to get through the winter. To witches, it often represents, you have to excuse the idiots, often represents the dark side of the craft. It is a sacred tree to the dark or crone aspect of the triple goddess and represents the waning or dark moons. So we're looking at the waning moon now. Blackthorn is now the increaser and keeper of dark secrets. So secrets are being kept. This tree is linked with warfare, wounding and death. Associated with the Scottish Celtic, the crone of death. So, Scorpio, we said, didn't we? Something has to end for something new to be born. The Irish Morgan. In Scotland, winter begins when the Celtic, also the goddess of winter, strikes the ground with her blackthorn staff. Blackthorn can be used in spells of protection as well. In Irish tales, heroes were aided by the blackthorn tree. If they threw a twig of blackthorn after them, it would take root and form an impenetrable hedge or wood, thwarting the pursuing giant. In England, witches would carve the Norse runes and thorns on the blackthorn stave for protection. And there we have the protection, the rune. Often in fairy tales such as Sleeping Beauty, the blackthorn forms the thick, impenetrable thorn bramble that hides the magic castle from intruders and princes alike. In order to prove worthy, the prince must cut through this thorn forest to rescue the princess. So somebody must prove that they're worthy and get through your wall of thorns. When a blackthorn grows near sister plant, hawthorn. The site is especially magical. Blackthorn often topped the maypole, entwined with hawthorn. So we said, didn't we, the 1st of May may be very important. At New Year, celebrants made blackthorn crowns, which they burned on New Year's Eve fire. The ashes were used to fertilise the fields. Blackthorn was sometimes woven into wreaths with mistletoe to bring luck in the coming year, and the garlands used to wassail the apple tree. Blackthorn can also herald the presence of a darker deity in your life, such as the Irish Morrigan or Dagda. Again, it is a sign of spiritual strength and support that is available to you if you pick up the gauntlet. Meditating under a blackthorn bush during the Samhain season can put you in touch with powerful underworld deities such as the Morrigan. Wear a protective amulet with the blackthorn, Ogham, sloe berries and blackthorn wand. Blackthorn is the tree which helps us to face the necessity of our own death. In many magical practices, we are encouraged to face death in order to abate our fear of it. So in other words, think of the worst thing that can happen and then go ahead anyway. Initiations are often reenacted of our own death and rebirth. On a negative side, blackthorn can indicate a persistently negative, resentful attitude that draws negative experiences to you. So if you carry that within you, it poisons you from the inside. Blackthorn can indicate a persistent and morbid fear of death. How you frame your life is how your life plays out. So what you believe is what you get. Blackthorn can be seen as a reminder not to frame your life in negative scenes, but reinterpret them in a more positive way to draw more positive experiences to you. What is all this merriment and cheer? It is not winter that you fear. I am the old veiled one of the wood, and my appearance shall do you no good. My realm is cold and dead and dark. The ground is barren and the trees are stark. My fierce white hounds, the dogs again, with eyes of red, howl through the night, a paean to the dead. I strike my blackthorn upon the ground, now nothing green or living shall be found. I am the Celtic beer, and now is my reign. I shall not leave you until next Beltane. So Beltane is important, and I think that's the spring one. I'll look it up when it is. It might be the 1st of May, it might be the 1st of February, I can't remember. Blackthorn is a twisting hardwood tree or shrub with thorny black branches. The blackthorn tree is actually more like a large shrub with dark twisted branches, which can grow to 12 feet high. Traditionally, it is said that blackthorn never exceeds 13 feet. It blooms with small white flowers that usually appear before the purplish leaves. The bluish-black fruit has sour flesh and a large stone. Blackthorn is related to the cultivated plum. It grows wild in Western Europe on scrub and in woodland clearings. Harvest the flowers, bark, leaf and fruit in May and September. Blackthorn is a deciduous tree. Its leaves turn yellow in autumn and fall off in winter, leaving a stark, twisted black skeleton. Found throughout the British Isles, blackthorn dwells on the edge of woodlands, forming dense thicket and hedgerow, often with hawthorn and elder. The bark is rough and scaly, and bright orange just under the dark grey surface. The thickets are dark, dense and thorny, and the branches and twigs twisting and branches out into all directions. The sap is a light yellow, and the heartwood is brown. The tree bears wicked, long, sharp thorns, which if pricked can cause problems. The trees bloom small, musk-scented, delicate white flowers with oval petals clustered into a star shape in early spring. The blooms, which are thin and rounded with toothed edges, appear before the leaves in early March. bloom for several months. They are usually white but occasionally pink with red-tipped stamen. The leaves are small, dark green ovals, which turn yellow before they fall off in winter. The berries are small, blue-black, sometimes deep purple, round, globular, and come in the summer until fall, ripening and sweetening after the first frost. The sloe berry juice can be used for ink or as a strong red dye. An alcoholic drink, sloe gin, is made from this small, dark blue berry, which is used both medicinally and magically. Sloe berries are very tonic bitters. I think I meant to say toxic. Medically, they can be used as an astringent, a laxative to reduce fever, to purify the system, stimulate the metabolism, clean the blood, and as a diuretic. They help with indigestion, eczema, herpes, allergies, colds, catarrh, neurosis, weak heart, kidney stones, skin, bladder, and prostate problems. Wow. Blackthorn helps absorption of energies necessary for life, stabilizes emotions, brings hope and joy. The leaves can be boiled into a decoction that, once cooled, is an excellent mouthwash, and gargles for those suffering from tonsillitis or laryngitis. Well, blow me. It can be used as a soothing eye bath. A tea made from the powder bark has a calming effect on the nerves, and they can be prepared as a juice, a syrup, a jelly, or a jam, wine or sloe gin beverage. They are excellent when combined with apples in a jam. I call to you, my brothers and sisters, I call to you. Fellow sons and daughters, I call to you. All ye children of the turner of the wheel, I call to you, as a fellow child, to do battle by my side, to aid me in the conquest of my foes. Draw close to me now, brothers and sisters of death herself. Let my blade be as your blade, my blood be as your blood, my heart be as your heart, my mind be as your mind. Together we shall defeat our foes, working as one we shall vanquish all enemies. United in heart, mind, body and soul, all our foes will be destroyed before us. Should silence rather than anger be needed, we must blend with the shadows. We must become as the shadows. We shall move like Scathach herself, silent, swift and sure and unerring. From the shadows we will strike with the speed of death. None shall expect us when we come from them. None shall live when we find them, for we are the children of death herself. Should anger be the greater part, however, we shall strike with all the fury in our hearts. Douglas forging Elion's casting, Gwydian's treachery. These have never been forgiven or forgotten by us. Should there or any other attempt to stop us, they shall meet the fury of our blades. Empowered by Scathach's great speed, the speed of death, we shall destroy all who attempt to defeat us. None shall survive our wrath. It is only in the greatest of times, the harshest and toughest of times, that we shall call upon the wrath. So when we're brought to our knees, that's when we come up fighting. The wrath of Scathach herself, all those, because once you've got pushed to that limit where you've got nothing to lose, I've said it before, you're very dangerous. All who see this great wrath will cower before her. No smith, sorcerer, or ruler shall stop us. They will die all the swifter before her. The dragon will come to us. The year of the dragon, I don't know when that next one is, to give us his power and aid us in battle. None shall stop the blood of our foes from feeding the land. So Spirit is protecting us. So let's see if we can find out. When is the year of the dragon? We know that we're in the year of the tiger now, don't we? Not next year, the year after. So there you go. Scathach, the warrior woman now identified as divinity, is the Celtic goddess of the dead, of all those slain in battle, and provides the deceased safe passage to Tir Nan Og. Once mortal, she was touched by the Tuathan de Danann in a way usually only seen in the Sade or the sea. She is similar to the Valkyrie of the Norse. She searches the battlefields for the souls of the slain and guides them along the Imrama, Na Anam, or death journey to Tir Nag Og, the land of eternal youth and beauty. Scathach also guides those who get lost on the Imrama. The reason so many vision seekers get lost on the Imrama is that Scathach does not guide the living. It is also the duty of Scathach to drop those who acted poorly in life on one of the mystical islands of the other world, where they pay their debts and learn their folly. Not many living mortals ever make it to Tir Nan Og successfully. She is a fearsome expert of the arts of war. It is her that Cú Chulainn, the greatest Irish warriors, came in his youth to learn his craft. This teaching took place in Alba. It was from Scathach that Cú Chulainn received his formidable barbed spear, a sword in some versions whose thrust was invariably fatal. Scathach was also a potent magician, the first of the 28th. She had a gift of prophecy, and she foretold Cú Chulainn's fate during the course. Somebody's here. Throat, taking my breath away, can't breathe. So, Queen Madba's onslaught against Ulster. So Ireland needs protecting, it seems. They've told us enough. Spirit are not allowed to say any more. So let's see. Cleanse the energy. Spirit, please. Thank you. Oh. Shaman spirit. The magician, the witch, the wizard. Awareness, practice, connection. They want you to practice your craft. For some, it will be an actual craft, something that you do for pleasure. For others, it will be a spiritual craft, but you must protect yourself and no dabbling in the dark arts. The solitary shaman, the walker between worlds, who bridges the gap between the physical and the non-physical reality. Call on this spirit helper when in need of connection and awareness of self and your surroundings. She will guide you when in need and be an invisible ally. The spiral into self indicates a knowing of who you are past the physical body and where you came from without the need for ego. So you must be humble and have no anger in your heart. I would say for me, this is my Japanese guide. I've only seen her a couple of times. You don't always see the main guide. You see others that come to guide you, but the main guide very rarely, unless you call upon them. So this card represents a knowing of yourself, the true you, your spirit, a deepening of your awareness and understanding of the world through the shaman's eyes. You see, when our physical body dies, our soul lives on to reincarnate again and again. So who are you without the limitations of your body? One needs to look very deep to take off the restrictions of who we think we are. If we were never to interact with another person, who would we express ourselves as? If that's the case, then you should be expressing yourself as that already. Are you comfortable with who you are on the inside? And does it match the person that you're trying to be on the outside? Or are you wearing a false mask? Is there an ego that needs to be set aside? Or do you need to find your inner strength to be who you truly are meant to be? Free of the harsh judgment we find from those around us. Are you with like-minded people or people who support and love you unconditionally? Only when you love who you are on the inside and fully know who you are by doing that which brings you joy, will you then not care what others think of you. Standing proud and confident in your own skin is a powerful energy to be reckoned with. From this place, you can take on anything. And when you find this place, remember what it feels like. So when you are feeling off center and need to find your strength again, look within. The shaman spiral is also showing us a need to practice your spirituality. What are your rituals? What is your self-care? You may be getting stuck in your physical material world and getting bogged down. Start doing the practice. Wake up and meditate. Light your incense on your altar or sit with a tree each day until you feel it speak to you. Doing the work means showing up and making the spiritual connection necessary to feed your spirit and keep you uplifted in the physical world. So Spirit want me to add something to that. In relationships or interaction with people as a whole, if you are blaming others for your misery or what's gone on, regardless of whether they caused it or not, you're in the wrong. You are responsible for your life. And even if you've been, you've been married for 65 years, which I know it's impossible for most people, but and suddenly decide that you're not getting on, that's because you've changed, you've grown, not because that person is any different. People don't change. And if you try to change people, then they'll go back to what they originally was in the first place, eventually. They can't keep up that act forever, it's exhausting. So, don't judge others lest you be judged, basically. So, even if somebody's done something wrong to you, then bless them and let them go. That's their karma to carry around, not yours. You don't need to carry that poison inside of you. So let go and get on with the next chapter of your life, whatever it is. Somebody wrongs you, that doesn't mean that you need to wrong others. Two wrongs don't make a right, as my granny would say. So it's a very hard thing to learn, and I'm the first one to admit I don't do it all the time. But I have a word with myself, and then I let go. Because if they rent space in your head and it poisons you, you get mental illness, physical illness, spiritual illness, whatever it is, it will all come back on you. So you have to learn that you don't control others, they don't control you, and if they bring you sadness, then wish them well and walk away. But do not blame others.